What do you feel about the RBG thing? Anyway, the reactions to
Sad.
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 Fair enough.
Sad. That's the only emotion. I didn't like. To be honest, I am like aware of her at the point. Like she did a lot for women's rights and gay rights and stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of her influence over the rest of the panel, like I didn't realize it was so far-reaching and so recognized in the US because obviously we don't get taught about it
Yeah.
at all. So, and plus, I don't like the fact that Trump's trying to get someone in to replace her just before he gets elected because he knows he's not going to win.
Yeah.
Hopefully, touch wood.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
What I'm seeing a lot of political hero worship, which makes me feel very weird personally. I've never been a fan of political hero worship because like, for example, I mean, we were talking about Corbyn earlier and whether or not I'm a simp for Corbyn. But the thing is it's like, well, I found that his policies were good, like Sanders. However, there are still criticisms to be had.
No, of course, yeah.
And
like,
and that to me is like
that
where I
perfect.
Yeah, that's where I stand on things. Is like, yeah, you have good takes, cool, and like some people, you have more good takes than bad takes. Go you, but at the same time, you're not doing like great. Like you're not doing like the as good as you could.
I feel like it's gonna have the like Obama effect basically, where it's like after a couple of years, people would be like, "Oh hey, but she also did this."
Well,
we kind of need to acknowledge that.
People have already been doing that. They were talking about it because they it had been stuff like she'd done loads of quite terrible things against indigenous people, like, and yes, it was years ago, but at the same time, like,
still did it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it's like there was no acknowledgement and saying, hey, we should like do something to fix that. It was just, it's just a mess. Like, and the thing is as well, right, is that some people, and I've seen this discussion where some people are like, oh hey, Trump is trying to replace her and put in a Republican, blah de blah, and like you can sit there and say he shouldn't do it, but it's like, but it's obvious it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And the woman was what, 87?
Yeah.
87 and had cancer. Maybe you will have a bit more of a warning sign before that point.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I'm not doing too well, I should go do something else. And, like, she could have stepped down during when Obama was there, and Obama could have picked somebody, and problem solved. There would have been... Yeah, you could have had, somebody there who would have held the line and would have been in better shape and that kind of thing. And, yeah, you could have had somebody... You could have had the replacement die before, RBG. And that would have been a freak accident, but there's a level at which you'd think, why is an 87-year-old still going to work every day and with cancer, and we're not going, that could come to a head very quickly.
I still think this comes into a wider conversation, I think, about American politics in general, because it's like, the majority of them are quite old.
Well, yes, I mean, there's a whole thing about...
there is not a lot of young people in the American government at all.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about, like, the idea of how many of them have to be tested for Alzheimer's at the moment, which is surreal. It's like a really bizarre concept, the idea of how many of them are having to have those tests. But I just don't know what to do about it. That's the thing. It's like, what would you do? How do you go ahead with that? You know,
I feel like make me Supreme Court.
Just you are the whole Supreme Court. That's
Yes,
that's pretty dope.
Going back to some Good Place references. I am Maya Rudolph in the situation, and I'll just make all the decisions.
I mean, like you're just going to decide how America works just as a fact.
Yes.
Yeah, but I just find it all really odd that some people are like, oh boy, you know, this person is so perfect. This person's, you know, career has always been good. Like, if you're at this long enough, you'll cock it up somewhere.
Exactly. I was gonna say like 87 is old.
Yeah. You're gonna cock it up. I mean, you know, Corbyn had some things where it was like, some of these meetings that you've had aren't gonna age well, or the press are not gonna be thrilled about it. Don't keep out.
Like, even for like us, like looking back like 10 years, we can be like, didn't age well. Like, no one can look back as that like 86-year existence and be like, not one thing wrong.
Well, exactly. Perfect. I mean, you know, like and if you look at, like, you know, 10, 20 years ago in our political system, we can go, oh boy, we absolutely shouldn't have done, for example, the Iraq War. And yet,
hindsight is 2020.
Exactly. But some people are like, oh boy, I'm really glad that I was part of that. It's like, you're not, you're gonna look at that and go, maybe this hadn't aged as well as I'd hoped it would, you know. It's such a weird concept, and it just makes me so uncomfortable. Oh.
Deep breath, deep calming breath.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we do need, because there were some other topics, but I think what we need to talk about something completely just not connected, because I mean, there was this was going to be a topic, the ICE whistleblower and the hysterectomies, you know, the uterus, you know, collector, and that kind of thing.
The uterus collector way.
Yeah, do you know? Have you not heard them described like this?
No.
Right. Oh my word. So there's like, so obviously this is like one of these terrible things where, oh come on, please load. Where basically these hysterectomies are being done.
Oh no, the hysterectomies to immigrant women. Okay, yes, yeah. I thought you meant like read J.K. Rowling. I was like, what? That's such a weird name to call her, the uterus collector.
No. This is
no. Oh yeah, no. This is disgusting.
Yeah. The uterus collector that this guy is, and the nightmare person that he is, apparently did it so frequently that you are given that name, and like, it's because
to have.
It's because basically they were all given like the news of having like ovarian cysts or something. So it's like, oh, don't worry, we're just gonna like sort them out. Oh, by the way, you don't have a uterus anymore. Like, we have now hit the point of America just flat out
medically castrating people.
Yeah, and it's one of those things of, oh hey, do you think that's like fashy now? Are we doing the fascism? Should we judge it? Should we like talk about that when, you know, because
like, you know, they should look back in the history book and be like, hang on, wait, let's have a look at all the other times that we've done forced sterilization.
Yeah.
And be like, let's see how that worked out. And it's like, oh,
I mean, actually, let's do that now.
How many times has forced sterilization worked?
Let's just look at just what, because Wikipedia, although it's not the best source, it's good for this kind of thing, from the get go, quickly and that kind of thing. Oh no. Oh, that's
no.
not good.
What? Read it to me.
So it has a contents page, right? So affected populations as a part of human population planning, because that sounds great.
No.
And then by country. And the US has about 5 bullet points.
It's segmented.
The US is segmented 5 times. That is not good. China is segmented once, and they're talking about Xinjiang, which happened recently. Okay. So, I'm... Sterilization... So, Libra, requiring sterilization is a human rights violation. Well, that's good. Go him. That's like the bear. No, go her. Sorry, Rebecca Lee. Bad job, Judge. I just thought it was a bloke named Lee. I was like, Lee what? Okay, so when did this? So there was like, so Bangladesh, right? When was their most recent? We'll try and find out where their most recent is, right? If not, it just saying currently.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, not fantastic.
No. But... It says since 25th of August 2017, more than 600,000 Rohingya Muslims have fled from the Rakhine state in Myanmar to neighbouring Bangladesh, which is a Muslim-majority country. Okay, so like they're being... Oh boy. Bangladesh is planning to introduce a sterilization program in its overcrowded Rohingya refugee camps, where nearly 1 million refugees are fighting for space after efforts to encourage birth control failed.
Babe, that's not the answer.
Yeah. It's called human rights, you psycho. Brazil is doing the good, apparently, in this page. During the 1970s and 1980s. It does not say anything about right now. That's good.
That's good. That's
Go
good.
you. Go you, babe. You're doing good.
Let's not congratulate him too fast, because, the whole COVID thing over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh dear. Canada's not doing too well. As recently as 2017, a number of Indigenous women were not permitted to see their newborn babies unless they agreed to sterilization. Over 60 women are involved in a lawsuit in this case.
But, I don't understand why. I mean, I can understand why they would think it, being like, oh yeah, let's fix the gene pool or whatever, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like...
I really hope you don't get clipped out of context for that. I can see what they mean.
Like a soundboard, and someone is like, "Yeah, I agree. This woman should be sterilized." No, this is not helping my case.
No, it's not.
In 5 years from now, someone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, Jesse is problematic," and here's a sound clip saying that they think Indigenous women should be sterilized.
Just the idea that that's where you're going with this. Oh boy, it's never a time when I've laughed at that comment being said. The
look on Lauren's face when I'm being
she's good.
Said it about
I
4
hate
times
this.
in the last minute. She's like, right. So anyway, How is China looking on this front?
So China have increased from a one-child policy to a two-child policy across the board.
Yeah.
That was after 2018. We're getting somewhere. In Xinjiang, however, in 2020, it was reported, so this is within China, it was reported that large-scale compulsory sterilization was being carried out as part of a cultural genocide of... Oh, this is going to be hard. How do I pronounce this? Uyghurs. Uyghurs? Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to find out what the pronunciation here is. How do I spell it? How do I pronounce that? That is not helping. Uyghurs. Uyghurs?
That sounded like... it could have sounded like something else. Josh, no.
I'm gonna go with Uyghurs because that's the one that I can pronounce the best and I feel like isn't gonna accidentally get, done badly. Oh boy, this is just getting worse. Colombia, 1964 to 1970. There was a program promoted to use IUDs, the pill, and sterilize. Oh boy, as main avenues for contraception.
So what we can gather from this is it doesn't age well when you force people to be sterilized.
Denmark.
Oh no.
Until June 11th, 2014, sterilization was a requisite for legal sex change in Denmark. 2014.
No, this doesn't surprise me.
2014.
No, that totally most countries would have it if you were a gay man, you'd get chemically castrated, or if you wanted to sex change, you had to be sterilized.
Yeah, but I think most places changed it before 2014.
Yeah, that's fact.
That's a little bit outdated.
No, I'm pretty sure actually quite a few places still have it.
Do they? Oh boy. Hang on. We've got this citation.
What's it? Wait, I'm trying to think who's... Wait, one sec. Who was...
Why did I open this? It's all in Danish.
What?
I can't read Danish.
Oh yeah, Alan Turing.
Yes, Alan
Turing literally was who made us not lose the World War.
Yeah, was then
chemically castrated.
Yeah. Yep. And the thing is the UK aren't in this.
I don't know, Chief.
It's just not mentioning us.
I don't know about that, Chief.
We're probably doing it. It's just not being mentioned. Nobody's kind of found out a thing that proves it. Oh dear.
What, there's no receipts?
Yeah, I think that might be,
proof.
or at least not ones that they let you live to share. This is not a good one for South Africa.
Oh god.
South Africa don't age well with a lot of their news. In South Africa, there have been multiple reports of HIV-positive women sterilized without their informed consent, and sometimes without their knowledge.
Big yikes.
Oh, that's not good. Sweden, you're not doing very well. When it says main article, compulsory sterilization in Sweden.
No.
That's not good. Okay, until 2012, because in that time, transgender individuals were required to undergo it to change legal sex. Yeah, okay, you're finding out that a lot of these things are happening. Oh no. United States. Further information, eugenics in the United States. This isn't a good look, guys. Why
Americans...
are we This isn't hard to avoid. Is it?
I'm I don't I like again. I just don't understand why anyone
Oh
would be
dear.
sterilized.
Oh dear. Oh,
This has taken a
that's
really dark turn.
it has. In the United
Do we
Kingdom,
have any fun news?
in the United Kingdom, Home
No, this is
Secretary,
not going to be nice.
Home Secretary Winston Churchill was a noted advocate, and his successor, Reginald McKenna, introduced a bill that included forced sterilisation. Writer G.K. Chesterton led a successful effort to defeat that clause of the 1913 Mental Deficiency Act. I'm sorry, the guy who writes the Mental Deficiency Act, with terms like that being your champion and the good guy, shows that you really suck. Like, and that's
I'm
Winston
not even
Churchill.
shocked.
Man.
He's a bastard anyway.
Also, apparently in 2015, the Court of Protection of the United Kingdom ruled that a woman with 6 children and an IQ of 70 should be sterilised for her own safety because another pregnancy would have been a significantly life-threatening event for her and the fetus and was not related to eugenics. The fact that you have to write that last bit.
What's IQ got to do with this?
That's the thing.
What's IQ got to do with this?
I don't know. I mean,
like, she's literally too dumb to understand.
Well, IQ is entirely used for eugenics. I mean, the average IQ apparently is between 85 and 115, right? Okay. So some people with high functioning autism, right, can be in 130, which is like above average by the same amount of points that this woman is below average. Okay?
Right. As well, like, is
And
like,
that's
I feel
not
like this
related to
average
eugenics.
is gonna be... I feel like this average is probably like where they've taken their data from is probably like
Yeah, absolutely.
not an even spread.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But the fact that you can simplify it that easily by going, here's the average, here's what above average looks like, and you have a lot of people on gifted and talented lists as kids, right? You know, they are in that category. And then you're saying if you go below average by that same number of points, you should be sterilized for your own safety? That screams a weird thing. Like, I mean, I'm saying if there's more points to this case and you can find a way to avidly defend it that doesn't make you look like a monster, go nuts. Send me the info, I'll read it. But, like, it's not a good look.
It's really not.
Oh, this is interesting. See also chemical castration, eugenics, medical law, reproductive rights, the Yoga Principles, which is a document about human rights in the area of sexual orientation and gender identity. Interesting.
Feel like I'm gonna be learning about that.
Probably. Forced pregnancy. Oh boy. Germany must perish.
That's not a page.
That is a page.
What is Germany must perish?
Germany must perish. It's a 104-page book by Theodor N. Kaufmann, which he self-published in 1941 in the United States. The book advocated for genocide through sterilization of all Germans and the territorial dismemberment of Germany, believing that this would achieve world peace. Right.
No.
What did Kaufman believe? So, an American Jewish businessman and writer known for his racist and eliminationist views on Germans.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorted. Doesn't like Germans.
Oh boy. His book was used extensively in Nazi propaganda, often as a justification for the persecution of the Jews, and was specifically cited as a reason to round up Jews of Hanover, Germany. Oh, good lord, Theodore, it's not a good look. You really screwed everybody. You screwed up my speech with just how dumb of a take that was. Like,
Literally.
brought me physical pain. I mean, wait.
Did his mom clearly never told her, if you haven't got something nice to say, don't say anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, right. Hitler came into power in 1935. Right?
Yeah.
I think. I'm 90% sure that's true. Right?
Okay, Google. When did Hitler come into power? 1933.
Oh, right. Okay. So still.
Close. That would have been closer than I would have said.
Yeah. So still, right? He wrote this book in 1941. Okay. Oh my word, no! This isn't even the first thing he wrote about sterilization. I completely misread, like I completely ignored it. In 1939, he published pamphlets as chairman of the American Federation of Peace that argued Americans should be sterilized so that their children will no longer fight in foreign wars.
What's it with this guy and sterilization?
I don't know. What happened to him
horrifying.
that made him think, you know what, sterilization is great? But like, right, so Hitler comes into power in 1933, right? And like, he rode on an entire platform of like xenophobia, right? And probably a lot of anti-Semitism, because a lot of that was going on at the time, right? And then he starts to make it worse. I think then, probably around 1935, I want to say something big happened, because 1935 feels like a big year in my head, and I do remember that from history classes somewhat. So, if that's the case, right, you have 6 years before you publish a book that literally plays into this guy's hands. And you don't think, boy, this could go wrong for me.
He's like, wait a second, backing up everything they've said about Jewish people?
Yeah! Like, flat out going, oh boy, can't wait to get rid of all the Germans. That couldn't possibly end poorly. I don't know what this guy was thinking. Oh my word. Oh boy.
You know, as well, this speaks a lot to, I'm thinking about, like, Hollywood.
Do you want to try that one again? Because it was as he got to, like, the topic, you went robot voice.
So,